Hey there, fellow YouTubers. I'm gonna do another. I'm gonna do a video on a game that I previously played, made in one of my older videos. But before I do that, I just want to talk about one system in this system in particular. It's a clone system. Um, it's called the FC3 Plus. I got the Star Wars Super Return of the Jedi. Hey, and I also got Barkley Shut Up and Jam, um, um, which I, which some people told me is kind of a sequel to Shaq Fu, Shaq Fu, but and then for this, well, for this game, for the NES slot, I've got McKids, which I'd seen APGN's review of it, and to be honest, I kind of agree with it, but I think it's a good game. And with the Genesis games, you have to kind of you have to pull it with some force. It has two controller inputs, and then a switch, which for the different game systems. It comes with two. Uh, if you if you get it in the box, if you get um, if you're kind of lucky, it will come with two controllers. I got this um, at a used video game store, complete in the box, and to tell you the truth, the controllers are kind of um, they're crappy. Happy, but the system, the clone system itself is really good. It plays most games fairly well, but as with other clone systems, it will not play every single game. And for the Genesis or the Super Nintendo or the NES, I'm told it can play G Factor games, which I honestly don't know anything about. So if you can tell me about G Factor games, um, uh, please, please let me know. Um, I'm uh, uh, clerk at the used video game store, or that, which is Pawn America, by the way. By the way, if you are a game collector, I would really, if you're a game collector and you have a Pawn America in your area, I'd really check it out. They don't have a big selection, but they do have games for $1. They have retro games for $1. Again, it depends on the availability or the rarity. Well, if it's common, it's um, cheaply priced. If it's rare, it's gonna be more expensive. But anyway, if you're looking for a if you're a game collector and you don't have the money or the space is to get all these systems, I'd really recommend uh, getting one of these. Um, but I would prefer that you get the Retron 3 because it as you can plug the controllers for each system into it, and the controller is, well, not that good. But anyway, I want to get to the game here. This is not the first Zelda game I've played, but the first one I've ever played is a Link to the Past. Great game for the Super Nintendo, but I like this better. Not. I love the graphics, but honestly, that's not what makes the game great. And if you know anything about the Legend of Zelda series, this was the first 3D game. And I like it because of its, you have complete control over your character. It has a good selection of enemies. Oh, I already got the slingshot, and so I just need to go down here. I think I may have beaten this part, but I'm not sure. I haven't played this game in a while. And I think this was one of the sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is one of the launch titles for the N64. Again, correct me if I'm wrong here. Here's the Deku stick. So again, it makes use of all these buttons to do different things, and that's what I like. That's what I kind of like about it. Honestly, there's not one button that's not useful. There's not one button that's not useful. I'm gonna kind of put this away before it burns out. I think that one of the kind of disappointing things for me is that there's no jump button on when you go off a ledge. It'll just automatically jump, which I think is kind of convenient, but I would like to have a jump button. Alright, get down there. I think the controller was, I think, I think it makes this controller look kind of good. But, I know that's kind of random, but at least, you know, you don't have to use the D-pad. D-pad, you can just... And the D-pad's not... The D-pad's honestly not workable in this game. But even though this game is great, I really prefer the How did you know our secret? How irritating. It's so annoying I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Kahama to you. In order to administer the coup de grace to Queen Kahama, strike with your sword while she's stunned. Oh, Queen. Sorry about that. Honestly, some of the enemies are quite helpful, ironically. Ironically, like that one. There's not many of those kinds of enemies that will actually help you, but I love the music for this game. I prefer Majora's Mask to this one, honestly. I just think it's better. Both of these games have the most creativity of any game that I have seen so far. And The Wind Waker is fun, but it's not as fun. Here there's so much to do, and uh, um, much more more of a cast of fun characters, to be quite honest with you. Uh, the reason I prefer Majora's Mask is because, well, graphically it is better, but well, the gameplay is the same, but I like how they took uh, uh, I I love how it took like a different take on Link. Link in the series, being that you can time travel. You only get 3 days, so you'll have to travel back 3 days, but that's pretty obvious. Um, there's about 4 temples in that game, so not nearly as long of a game as Ocarina of Time. Um, and honestly, well, the other reason is, though I like Ganon, and I think having a mask as an enemy is more uh, creative and more interesting. And, um, I thought the Super Nintendo, I thought A Link to the Past was great. It, that was before I played this. But I didn't really play that game that much when I was a kid, honestly. Yeah, nowadays I do. But I still prefer the two N64 games. Or games. It's not. The Super Nintendo had great graphics. These are kind of blocky on an HD TV, but the graphics are not what makes a game great. It's the overall control, and for me, it's the control more more than the graphics that make the game great. And I know a lot of kids today think that graphics are what makes a game great, but let me set the record straight. If it doesn't have great control, it's not a great game at all. If it if it doesn't have any good controls, even if it has the most advanced graphics, if the controls suck, the game's gonna suck. And that's especially true with Call of Duty. A lot of people were saying that Halo is not good. That it doesn't have great controls. Well, they're good in the Halo games have great enough controls for me. And hear me, and well, that honestly, that I think that Halo is an awesome video game series. Whereas I just take it as it is. I try to take it as it is. I don't try to have very high expectations because most of the time I'll just let myself down. Um, and um, the PlayStation had the PlayStation was good, but it didn't have games like this. Honestly, I know it had Spyro, and I'm a very big fan of that series. I wonder if they came out with any Spyro games for the PS3. Well, um, but this is more of a puzzle and action game, and I think more so than Spyro. Um, so really, overall, this is a very great game for the system, and it's one of the best Zelda video games. I think to me it's the best. To me, Majora's Mask is the best. But both N64 Legend of Zelda games had the most creative, creative environments and the most creative storylines. And I know this is a prequel to the A Link to the Past. As in why the reason is because Nintendo wanted to do the story, or uh, Nintendo really wanted to do the backstory, or that uh, you read in the manual and in the game. And so that's really just about it. One of the best puzzle games I think there is. Um, if you haven't played it, if you haven't played it at all, check it out. It's on the um, Wii Virtual Console, or if you prefer getting the cartridges, those are actually pretty cheap. Yep, so see you next time, YouTubers.